As Spike and Barry Brown labored on their second cut, weeks stretched into months. The Bond company grew impatient, then angry. Finally, they pulled the plug.
We were in New York, finishing up the scratch mix. They came in with a piece of paper. It said, all work has got to be stopped at this very moment.
All the people in post-production received a registered letter saying they were fired and their service no longer be needed. I was going crazy. How are we going to finish this film?
All right, break it up. You got what you wanted.
No, I'm not satisfied. To the hospital.
Spike knew exactly where to turn for inspiration.
For me, one of the greatest things Malcolm ever taught me was self-determination for black people. Then I said, you know what? I know a lot of proud African Americans that got bank, disposable income.
Spike did a typically Spike Leon thing. He went to people in his own community, told them what the situation was, and got them to put the money up that he needed.
And I made the list, but it took me like 2 weeks before I called anybody. It was a hard thing to do, because I was begging. I cannot say it was a tax write-off, because that would be a lie. I cannot say that they get participation in the film, because there was no participation. What I asked them was a gift, so the film that we envisioned could be realized. The first person I called was Bill Cosby. I called Bill up, said, Bill, and he must have heard by the tone of my voice, because before I convinced that, Spike, how much you need? I told him. He said, where you want me to send it?
Emboldened by his initial success, Spike called several other prominent African Americans.
Miss Winfrey, Janet Jackson, Tracy Chapman, Prince, Peggy Cooper Capers, a great educator out of D.C. Last two calls, Magic and Jordan. So I called up Magic first, told him the number. He said, cool. But I kept these two last because they're very competitive. So I said, I called Michael Jordan, Yo Money. That's what people's nicknames are, Money. I need some money. I said, oh, by the way, Magic gave this amount. And so it was with those donations from these prominent African Americans that understood the importance of Malcolm X, that we were able to continue.
On May 19, 1992, Spike showed the world that African Americans can indeed do for themselves.
We had a press conference at the Schomburg Library in Harlem, and we made the announcement.
In order to continue with the film, I made a choice. That was a choice to go out directly to prominent African Americans. This is probably the first time this has happened, where some black folks with some money came to the rescue of the movie.
It was the community pulling together to make sure that the movie was done the way it should have been done. I think it says a lot about how people viewed this film and how important this film was.
And guess what happened? A day after our press conference, Warner Brothers took the Bond company out of the picture, and we started getting funded again.
That's too much power for one man to have.